ahead and use things. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Gesundheit.
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Well, I'll tell you, nobody handles garbage better than we do.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you.
Left cheek! Left cheek! Left cheek!
Hey guys, welcome to my next unboxing and review. This is the Piece Ultra or MPU-02 Ramjet. So this one's kind of a little bit tricky. So this is I guess you would call it a KO. I call it KO-ish. So it's what this is this company has taken the MP52 mold of the Seeker and updated it, used the basic blueprints of it to turn it into one of the Coneheads Ramjet. Now this is this company's second release. Their first was Thrust, and that came out late last year. And they've already announced a Dirge, so they will be completing the Coneheads, which is great because I was a fan of this mold from Takara, and they are picking up where Takara is slacking off by not doing these Coneheads. But so yeah, let's take a look at the packaging. Actually, let's get the turntable out of the way. So here's the front. It's just, I mean, it's basic. It's just the product image and some graphics. Same thing on the top. The side has a little bit more product image, robot mode, and then this side has jet mode. And then the bottom's the same as the top. And then here is the rear of it, where you can see product images. It's really, it mirrors almost how a Takara package looks, but you can see product images. There's the picture with their Thrust. And then here is all the parts that are inside. Even comes with that Takara base. So that's why I say it's like a KO-ish. I mean, because they're using the basic blueprint of the of the MP52, but they've done it. They've redesigned the head a little bit for a cone head, and then the wings and stuff on the side. So let's get this box opened and get it pulled out. And I'm knocking everything over. So here is the instructions. Look like pretty big instructions. And then here's the base. I haven't even used this on the Takara releases, so I doubt that'll just go right back in the box. So let's see, the clamshell has some tape on it. So let's get the clamshell open. Let's get everything out. So here's a pair of effect pieces. I believe those fit on the thrusters. And let's see, let's get these null rays out. So here's the null rays. The other one flew on the other side, but this is a conversion for the null rays, more of a cannon-like. And it looks like they just threw these wings in here. They don't look scratched up or anything. So let's set those to the side. And let's get Ramjet out. And there are a pair of, here's an attachment for the jet for the stand. And there are a pair of head sculpts, or face, additional faces. So there's one chunky looking stoic face. And oh no, there's like a smirk. You can kind of see his face, kind of. And here's the other one. This one's more of a stoic face. I'm curious what face is on the actual figure itself, but I don't need the base piece. All right, so let's take a look at the jet. Some of the bits aren't plugged in all the way. But yeah, it's a good looking jet. And then I would imagine these wings just plug right in. And then one other thing on the cockpit, the seat's not folded down. There we go. There. So yeah. There's the top down of it and the bottom. I'll have to get the thrust out. Oh, the wing fell off, so clearly I didn't have it in all the way. I'll have to get the thrust out because this, I wonder if there's more die cast on this compared to the thrust. it feels like it's got some really good heft to it. Oh yeah. So let's get them transformed into robot mode. Oh, so here's one thing I want to show off. So you need to convert the null rays to like a smaller version of it, and then it can plug into his like cannon piece, and then flip out the peg, and then they can peg in like that. Same thing with this side. And then one other thing I didn't show off. I need the spudger. He does have landing gear. Just gotta open those panels up. They snap into place. Open that up, open that panel up. And then the front landing gear, just open up like that. And then it comes down like that. And tilt the camera down a little bit. And yeah, so there he is on his landing gear, and they roll really good. Oh, and then the blast effects, or whatever the effect pieces. So the effect pieces just plug in to the engines. You have to make sure they're pulled out, so that way it can peg in. So you have to lift that up to get them pulled out the rest of the way. And they are a pain in the butt to plug in. Because when you try to push them in, the thruster goes back in. So you kind of got to hold the thruster and plug the effect piece in. Oh, and it just came off. It's awesome. Huh. Might have to glue that on. But yeah, so there's the effect pieces. Yeah, good looking jet mode. All right, so let's show the here's Ramjet, and we'll put a picture of the G1 animation. That's pretty much what they're going for, and that's what I like. So all right, now so let's move to transformation. So first thing you want to do is untab the top part of the wings right here. You might need like a spudger to get them out, but and then those fold down like this. Let's see, the next, oh, you know what, first thing we want to take off the cannons. Set those aside. And then the jet flip around. I think that's cool how it does that. Flip around and hides it. All right. So next, let's get this out of the way. Get that up. You can separate it as well. Just kind of want to get that out of the way. And then separate the legs. And then this wing comes untabbed. And then that allows you to untab this panel. Maybe. There, you can untab that panel, bring the foot down, collapse the jet. And does it pop? I think it locks. And next, you pull this panel out, and then you unaccordion the thigh. And this is nice. They got a piece of tape. Oh, no, it's not nice because that tape pulled the paint off. That's awesome. At least it's black. I can just touch it up with a panel lining pin. And then next, you bring this panel back down, tab it in, slide your knee up. And then there's a piece of tape right here too, but I'm not sure if I want to take it off because I don't know why they use tape. Is not the best thing to use. They should have used just like a plastic. It didn't have adhesive on one side. Well, like I said, it's black, so shoot. I didn't tab that panel in. Why does this not want to come undone? Make sure that that panel right there gets tabbed in, and then it shouldn't push back. There. So let's do the same thing with the other side. Pull the panel out. Bring the foot down. There's a piece of tape on this as well. Get it off real fast. Lift this panel up and then accordion the leg down. Kind of see why they did put the tape on, because that was kind of crushed a little bit. Take it off very slowly. Hopefully it doesn't pull any paint off. All right. So just make sure this is in position, and then tab this in. It lines up, and tab that in, and then slide the knee up. There we go. There, both of them are up. And then the last thing is these legs are on like a, or the wings are on like a slider. Stiff. There you go. Well, that's tight. But you untab them up here and then you can slide it. Try They don't want to come on tab, that's for sure. See if I can wedge a spudger in there and kind of loosen it up there. And part of it, that what's impeding it is the paint. All right, so now we got his legs transformed. So let's untab this piece, untab this, pull it down, pull his arms out, get those up out of the way. Let's see. And then there, let's do the cockpit. Let's make sure. Put the arms down. Rotate them. That locks in like that. And so what do we want to do next? This kind of accordions like that. Tabs in. Oh, I didn't get the leg. There we go. So now we want, this is what we want to do now, is we want to work the cockpit and the fuselage. Fold the seat down. All right, before we rotate the cockpit down, we want to get the, kind of pull the head out of the way a little bit, because you want to get these panels pulled out that form like his abdomen on the side. Pull that panel out. Flip this down. It does have an ab crunch. You can kind of push that forward to, wait, oh, I think you have to pull it back to get a clearance. Fold that down. Getting hung up on a tab. There we go. All right, so now we can work on the here, tilt this up a little bit. We can work on the front part of the jet. Gonna get those out of the way. This has to kind of pop down. These panels go up, and then it kind of goes up like that. I think that slides. Yeah, that slides up. I don't want to fold those panels up yet. It slides up more. Should look like that. Then you want to rotate the, see, the nose cone rotates. I think that goes in like that. Hold on, let me double check. Before you collapse it, you should put the nose cone in, because you don't have the clearance. So now once the nose cone's in, you can collapse all that. And then collapse the cockpit shield, whatever it's called. And then this piece should go up like here. And then you want to rotate this around, get this out of the way. Get that out of the way. Rotate it around, and then there's like a double hinge. So you want to rotate it around, and then it'll go in his chest. Just kind of got to finagle it, and it'll eventually go in. Might be easier to put his ab crunch down a little bit. And once you have that in, it should go just like that. And get that, lift that panel up, and then his little rear end plate plugs in like that. There. And then the head's on like a ball. You just have to, is it go? So for the head, you want to lift this cone up. And then he has like little panels. Let's just take his head off. So you kind of want to pull these panels out. And that way, once you have those pulled out enough, you can collapse the front part of his head. They keep pushing in. So then you can see on the bottom, there's like a slot in the ball. So this is what you want. Just put that back and then push his head back to get it locked in. Pull it forward. Why isn't it locking in? There we go. All right, so then you want to fold these down like so, and they should tab in. Oh, this hip piece kind of went out a little, or side piece. Should tab into that. Like there, and then there. It's tabbed in. And then you want to bring these like intakes back. And then the last thing we have left is his hands. So this opens up like that. You twist his hand around. Spin it. The wrist, same thing with this side. Rotate at the wrist. And that's Ramjet. So, and then last thing is, so you can either go with kind of like how it looked. I mean, the toy had these cannons that looked like those cannons, or which what I'm going for is more animation accurate. So you want to take the cannon, the null ray, out of the bigger cannon, and it flips open. Sometimes it's easier just to use a spudger. Push it up to kind of release that. Spin it around, and then plug it into his arm. And that's the look I'm going for. I'm going for the more tuned null rays. So we'll do the same thing with this side. Get it pulled out. And open that up. Rotate it around. And there's Ramjet. All transformed. I think that's everything. Yeah. Maybe those tab in. But let's get a close-up of them, or a good look at them. So there's a good look at his face sculpt. So the one that comes stock is like a kind of like a screaming face. And here's the back of him. Not a bad backpack. I mean, if you're used to the MP-52 mold, here's the back of his lower legs. Now, I did see that MPU is doing an upgrade kit to put like panel pieces to cover that up, but I mean it's on his back, so it's not like I display my figure with his backside facing everybody. So yeah, I don't know if I'll pick it up. I guess it depends on the price. Actually, there's more of a trick to these. Oh, you just have to make sure that, so they curve up. So yeah, they kind of like slide. See how there's like a thing right there? So they kind of look more like that. But let's go over articulation. So the head's on a ball joint, but it has an extra hinge, so you can kind of go forward like that. Arms. Get up to here. 360 rotation on a ratchet, decent ratchet. Oh, not only do you have that like that, but also there's a ratchet so you can get the full range like up to there. There is a little bit of a butterfly. That's a stiff ratchet too. Bicep swivel. It has a single jointed elbow, but it can get way past 90 degrees. Wrist has a hinge, can flail out like that, can rotate 360. The hand, the thumb is on a hinged knuckle, and it has a secondary knuckle. Same thing with the fingers, they're all on a hinge, and then there is a secondary hinged knuckle. No waist rotation due to the design, but he does have an ab crunch, a little bit of an ab crunch. There are some hip skirts you got to get out of the way. The legs can go, I mean, really pretty decent sized splits. He can go forward like that, all the back like that. Knee well past 90. Is that double? That's single jointed knee. A little bit of rocker, and not much toe. I mean, it can go forward a little bit, back a little bit. One thing the MPU did far superior than the official was they fixed the knees and the ankles to where they're tight. They're real loose on the official, sadly, but they're real loose. Let's see. He does have some gimmicks, so you can lift up these intakes, and they have like missile pods. If you bring his head back and pull it off, you can swap his face. So it's probably easier to do with a spudger. So his face pops off. It's just tabbed in. So I'm gonna go with a little. So he comes with 2 other face sculpts. I think I showed that in the beginning. He's got a stoic face sculpt and like a smirking face sculpt. I think I'm gonna put the smirking one on. And all you have to do is kind of slide that in and tab it in, and then put his head back on the ball. And tap it back in. And there he is with his smirking face. I don't think he has any other gimmicks. You can plug him on the stand, but I don't have the stand out anymore. I don't use the stands. But let's see. Let's find some other figures to compare them with. All right, so let's bring some things in for comparison. So first off, let's here's the Make Toys Ramjet. This is what he's replacing because I did not like these Make Toys figures. So I will be selling this Ramjet. It was a good placeholder. But like I did with the Make Toys Thrust, I sold it. I sold the Make Toys Thrust once I got the MPU Thrust. I just like the MPU's designs. I like because they use the base it off the Masterpiece, the Takara Masterpiece Seekers, and then here is Thundercracker. Kind of show comparison with that MP mold compared to the MPU mold. And I mean, I like what Takara did. I mean, I think this mold's beautiful, but as you can see, they're weak in the knees. That is one thing that this MPU improved upon. But yeah, so there's comparisons. All right, so let's move on. My final thoughts on the MPU Ramjet. Let's go with negatives first. Why the hell did they put tape on this guy? I understand the thought was so you didn't rub anything when transforming it when they packaged it, but the tape, they used adhesive tape instead of just like a plastic tape, and it pulled paint off. Thankfully it was like the black paint, so I mean I could just use probably just a marker and touch it up, but I mean it's looking at me just right there in the thighs. Other than that, I mean transformation was, I can't think of anything else negative. I mean everything, the joints feel, well, let's talk positives instead of. So on the positive side, it is painted almost 100%. Like there's paint everywhere in this, and that's you just have to be careful when transforming it. You don't want to do any paint rub, so it makes it just feel premium. The joints feel nice. Transformation was pretty much smooth. I struggled a little bit. That was just on me because I haven't transformed this mold in a while. The G1 accuracy, I'll throw up a overlay to show, or if I haven't thrown up an overlay, just to show. I mean, that's what I want. G1 animation. This guy's pretty much spot on. Plenty of the articulation's decent. I mean, I'm familiar with this mold, so I don't care about the lack of waist rotation. I mean, the shoulders, really good articulation in the shoulders. But all in all, I'm happy to add this guy to my Masterpiece G1 Season 2 shelf. And I highly recommend, if you're into Masterpiece and you want all your seekers, this isn't a very expensive, especially if you get it on Show Z. So yeah, I recommend picking this guy up. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you could, like, subscribe, comment, look me up on all the other social medias, on Instagram, TikTok, X. I have my Facebook page. It's all Talib1980_collects. There'll be a little thing at the end with the QR codes for each one of those. So if you could, look me up and follow me on those sites as well. And like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.